Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Mike and Kate's English channel. I am Mike, and I am joined by the person who keeps my English from falling apart, the amazing Kate.
High five, Mike. Thank you for that intro. I am so happy to be here. Today, we are diving into a topic that makes almost everyone's palms sweaty. We are talking about job interviews.
Oh man, don't remind me. Kate, I have a confession. My first big job interview in English was a total train wreck, a disaster.
No way. What happened? You are usually so chatty.
That was the problem. The interviewer looked at me and said, "Mike, tell me about yourself." And I thought, great, he wants to be friends. So I spent 10 minutes talking about my collection of vintage spoons and how my cat, Barnaby, has a very specific diet.
Oh, Mike, no. Please tell me you didn't.
I did. I even showed him a picture of a rare silver spoon from the year 1924. I thought I was being charming. He just looked at his watch and looked very, very tired.
That is a classic mistake. That is actually our pothole insight for today. When an interviewer says, "Tell me about yourself," they do not want to hear about your cats or your spoons. They want the professional version of you. It is not a first date. It is a business pitch.
I learned that the hard way. I did not get the job, but I did learn that spoons are not a professional skill unless you are applying to be a professional spoon polisher.
Exactly. Today, we are going to fix that. We are going to give you the exact phrases you need to sound like a pro. We are going to work on that connected speech so you sound smooth, not like a textbook. We want you to sound natural, like a real person who belongs in that office.
I am ready. I need this. My career depends on you, Kate.
Let's get into it. Section 1. The opening moves. When you start an interview, you need to talk about your background and why you are there. The first phrase we are going to master is, "I have about 3 years of experience in customer service."
I have about 3 years of experience in customer service. That sounds pretty clear, right?
It is clear, but it is a bit stiff. In the real world, we link these words together. This is the secret sauce. Listen to how the word about and 3 link. Also, look at experience in. It sounds like experi and sin.
Experi and sin?
Yes. Let's do a linking drill. Repeat after me. You've.
You've.
Abo 3. Abo 3.
Abo 3.
Experi and sin.
Experi and sin.
Now put it together. You've abo 3 years, you've experi and sin.
You've abo 3 years, you've experi and sin. Wow, that feels like my mouth is a professional athlete. It is just flowing.
That is a game changer, Mike. When you link those sounds, you sound confident. Now, why do we use this phrase? It is perfect because it gives a number and a field. It is professional and direct.
What about the second phrase for this section?
The second one is, "I am interested in this position because." This is how you answer the "why do you want this job" question.
I am interested in this position because...
Good, but let's fix the social nuance here. Mike, why do most people want a job?
Honestly, because I like eating and paying my rent on time. I want the money.
And if you say that in an interview, you will be back home eating cereal for dinner. Saying, "I want money" is what we call too blunt. It is too direct. It sounds like you do not care about the company. You have to talk about your skills and their reputation.
Right. No spoons, no money talk. Got it. So how do we make this sound natural?
We link interested and in. It sounds like in true, stead in.
In true, stead in.
And this position becomes this position.
This position.
Try the whole thing. I'm interested in this position because.
I'm interested in this position because.
Perfect. You sounded like a manager already. Mike, try to use it. Tell me why you want a job at a big tech company.
I am interested in this position because I have always followed your company and I want to contribute to your team.
You nailed it. You sounded professional, but relaxed. That is the B1 level we are aiming for.
Okay, so we have the intro. What is next?
Section 2. This is where people get nervous. Strengths and weaknesses. The interviewer wants to know what you are good at, but they also want to see if you are honest about your mistakes.
I hate the weakness question. It feels like a trap. If I say I am lazy, I do not get the job. If I say I have no weaknesses, they think I am a liar.
It is a total tightrope walk. The key phrase for strengths is, one of my strengths is communication.
One of my strengths is communication.
Let's look at the linking. Strengths is. It sounds like strengths is.
Strength sis.
And of my becomes you've my.
You've my.
Try it. One of my strengths is communication.
One of my strengths is communication.
That is it. Now, for the weakness. This is the tricky one. Use this phrase, I have been working on my time management.
I have been working on my time management.
This is great because it shows you are taking action. You are not just saying you are bad at something. You are saying you are improving. It shows growth.
That makes sense. It is like saying I am not perfect, but I am trying to be better.
Exactly. Now, the linking. Have been becomes have been. Working on becomes working on.
Who've been working on.
Try the full sentence. I who've been working on my time management.
I who've been working on my time management.
Mike, you are a natural. But remember, don't pick a weakness that is a deal breaker. If you are applying to be a driver, do not say your weakness is that you fall asleep when you see a steering wheel.
Right. So if I am applying for a writing job, I should not say my weakness is that I do not know the alphabet.
Exactly. Pick something real but small, like sometimes I focus too much on details.
I can do that. I actually do focus on details, like how many letters are on this page.
Focus, Mike. We have one more section. Section 3, the future. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I always want to say on a beach in Hawaii. Is that the wrong answer?
It is the honest answer, but the interviewer wants to hear about the company. They want to know if you are going to quit in 2 months.
So I should lie?
No, just focus on professional growth. Use this phrase, I would like to take on more responsibilities.
I would like to take on more responsibilities.
Good. Linking time. Would like. The D in would is soft. It almost disappears into the L in like. Woo like.
Woo-like.
Take on. It sounds like take on.
Take on. Like the movie with Liam Neeson?
Exactly. Think of Liam Neeson, take on.
I will find you, and I will take on more responsibilities.
Ha! Perfect. Now try the whole thing. I would like to take on more responsibilities.
I would like to take on more responsibilities.
Brilliant. The final phrase is, I hope to contribute to the growth of the company.
I hope to contribute to the growth of the company.
Linking here, hope to becomes hope to. Growth of becomes growth of.
Hope to growth of.
Put it together. I hope to contribute to the growth of the company.
I hope to contribute to the growth of the company. Kate, I feel like I am dancing with my tongue.
That is what natural English feels like. It is a rhythm. It is a flow. When you speak like this, the interviewer stops focusing on your accent and starts focusing on your great ideas.
This is amazing. I feel way more confident than I did with my spoon story.
Good, because now it is time for the master role play. No more drills, no more stopping, just a real interview. I will be the manager at a marketing firm, and you are the candidate. Are you ready?
I was born ready. Let's do this.
Good morning. Thank you for coming in today. To start off, could you please tell me a little bit about yourself?
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Mike, and I have about 3 years of experience in customer service and communication. In my previous role, I worked with many different clients and helped solve complex problems. I enjoy working with people, and I am always looking for ways to improve my professional skills.
That is very impressive. We are looking for someone who is really dedicated. Why do you want to work for this company specifically?
I am interested in this position because I admire your company's reputation for innovation. I have followed your projects for a long time, and I believe my background in client relations would be a great fit. I want to contribute to a team that values creativity.
I like that. Now let's talk about your skills. What would you say are your main strengths?
One of my strengths is communication. I am very comfortable speaking with different types of people and explaining ideas clearly. I am also very organized, which helps me manage my tasks and meet every deadline without stress.
And on the other side, what is a weakness you are currently working on?
In the past, I sometimes focus too much on small details, which could slow me down. However, I have been working on my time management to balance quality and efficiency. I now use a digital planner to keep myself on track.
That is a very mature answer. Finally, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope to be a senior member of this team. I would like to take on more responsibilities and perhaps lead a small group. I hope to contribute to the growth of the company by bringing in new clients and helping the brand expand.
Thank you, Mike. It was a pleasure talking to you today. We will be in touch soon.
Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.
And scene. Mike, that was incredible. You didn't mention a single spoon.
Not one. And I didn't even mention Barnaby the cat. I am a changed man, Kate.
You sounded so natural. The linking was perfect. You didn't sound like you were reading a list. You sounded like you were having a conversation.
It felt different. I wasn't thinking about the grammar. I was thinking about the sounds, the take-on, and the strengths. It made everything easier.
That is the goal. When you learn the sounds, the grammar follows.
So, Kate, before we go, do you have a pro tip for our listeners, something that AI or a textbook might miss?
I do. This is a game changer. It is the power of the pause. Many learners think they need to speak fast to sound fluent. They rush their answers. But in an interview, a small pause shows confidence. If you get a hard question, don't say or Just take a breath, look the interviewer in the eye, and wait 2 seconds before you start. It makes you look thoughtful and calm.
The power of the pause. I like that. It gives me time to make sure I don't say anything about my hobby of collecting old shoelaces.
Exactly. Silence is your friend. Use it to collect your thoughts and hit those linking sounds.
That was my big aha moment for today. I don't have to be a machine. I can be a human who takes a breath.
You are a very talented human, Mike. And I think our listeners are too.
I agree. Now, for the homework. We want to hear from you. In the comments, we want you to practice the weakness question. Tell us one thing you have been working on lately. Remember to use the phrase, I have been working on.
And try to write it out phonetically if you can. Show us how you would say it.
Yes! Let's see those who've been working on sentences. Thank you so much for joining us today. If this helped you feel a little less nervous about your next interview, please hit that button.
Subscribe to Mike and Kate's English channel for more high engagement learning. We have so much more to show you.
See you in the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye!